Well, Fresh Baked, as promised, we have arrived at the top of Mickey Friends parking structure to take a look and see what's happening at the site for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. You can't get much of a look at this site. There it is. That's the entirety of it. I even tried to slide down to the right a little bit to see if I can get a little bit better angle. It's really tough. I just say this. It's really tough to see anything on this site, no matter where you are, even from the bridge on the 5 freeway, which I haven't tried yet, but I will. But let's stop here for a second. The reason we're here is to establish a benchmark to see if they're going to continue working on the site for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. To say that they're still working, you can obviously see that there's construction in progress here. That's no doubt, because they have been working on it. But when you want to hibernate a work site, let's say you are going to pause it and you want to hibernate it, it's not going to just happen overnight. They're not just going to stop working. They have to sort of prep the site to make it ready to go into hibernation. So that's what we're going to be looking for next week and the week after, is to see if, for example, the area that's down there, let's focus in a little bit. That right there is going to be a huge tell. That's that area down on the right. That's an excavation for a footing per Tustin, and probably for something like a basement or a tunnel. Now, what it is isn't really important. What is important is if we see that move forward, as opposed to, let's say, a tarp get put over it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's forms and there is active construction happening, as opposed to just dirt, because, for a long time at Galaxy's Edge, for example, we saw nothing. It was just dirt for a good, 6 months? I don't know, maybe more. So I don't, that's what we're going to be watching for. But obviously they've passed the dirt stage on this site. So next week, I think we'll know by next week, if not the week after that, we'll know where they are with relation to Mickey and Minnie's continuing or not. Having said that, we're not going to be able to see much from here other than this little sliver of a view, which is kind of, that's a bummer. All right, let's go to the next big star, and that is Avengers Campus. And interestingly, we found this. That new pole that they put up the other day, or a couple weeks ago, that we thought might be a place for a cast member to stand. They took it out, and there are these guys, welders, doing some kind of welding. So that thing is just dangling like a fish on a hook over here. We weren't sure if there was a reason for that, but they installed it, but then took it out so that they probably as a placeholder for testing, perhaps. That's what Ian thinks, anyway. So I'm pointing at something that I thought may be new, but don't worry about that. That thing winds up going back up there. It's already there. It's already back up by now. It was easy work what they were doing. Now I want to take a look at this thing again. And we can see even more depth there than we did last week. As a matter of fact, we found a cast member or a construction worker in there, which gives you an excellent indication of the scale, the size of this thing, and what its role is. And when I say that, again, what I mean to say is it's not just, we don't think, an electric sign or emblem or whatever that they're going to put on. There's more than that. There's more at play here. You don't need, I don't think, now I'm not a construction worker, but Tustin is, and he's the one fronting this, so I have to really defer to him on this. I don't think you need all that depth behind there unless you have a reason. Like you only need basically the size, the width of the actual sign, or whatever it is that they're installing there. We'll look at this again here in a minute. It'll come into more focus there. But for now, let's watch this guy walk in there. There's a whole bunch of space back there, you guys. I'm telling you, there's something happening back there. Gotta be, right? I thought he might come out the other end, but he didn't. I don't know where he went. But there's show. And there's our fish on a hook again, just dangling. We thought we might get to watch them put that thing back up there, but rather they were actually just putting it on the ground. Okay, from the Pixar Pal Around, another look. this view, it's going to be a few weeks before we see anything super interesting from this view, I think, because of all the steel. You know, the only thing we can see right now is the Avengers building and this same view, which actually is better from the ground these days than it is from up there. I mean, we can get a pretty good idea of what they're doing with the facades there, with the brickwork and that kind of thing, and obviously the new crane that they're installing on top of that building. But otherwise, it's kind of... Wait. Well, that's interesting. Those are forms out in front of Pim Foods.
Yeah, it gets cold.
Yeah, those are forms. I don't know if they're... Are they building a wall? They may be building a wall there. I doubt they wouldn't surround it like that, though. It seems unlikely that they would. That's interesting. Okay, there's the Avengers building. That's starting to come into focus a little bit. We'll stay tuned for that next week. This week, the Scrim's back up at the backside of Luigi's. Let's go down to Luigi's, actually. Oh, no, we're at Mater's. There's that area that we watched that guy walk into. This is from the Mater's exit. We watched him walk into there. And there's the crane. Not much to see here. That's going... We're going to see... Are those stairs? Okay, this is the view I was referencing earlier. Okay, not only does it have depth, but it goes back further even. Like there's like a hallway, right? Doesn't that look like a... You know, you're going to the bedroom, right? And you got to walk down the hall, then turn right, and your bedroom's back there. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. If you keep going left or go to the bathroom, turn to the right, and your bedroom's back there. That's the way I see what's going on back here. More than just a web logo or emblem on top of that building. All I'm saying, that seems very complicated, Dustin says as well. It seems very ornate and complicated for just an ornamentation on a wall or on a building. Found some more antenna on top of the Web Suppliers building. There it is. This is from Mater's also. And then this. This is kind of a big deal. I didn't know what I was filming. I couldn't really... I just thought, you know what? I've never seen that thing before. And I thought I'd shoot it, and maybe somebody can tell me what it is. Dustin is 90% sure that's the actual catapult. Actually, the word he used was definitely for launching robots, he said. So I'm going to take his word for it again. I tried watching the video of the Stuntronic video, and you don't really get to see the actual apparatus launching the robot up into the air. So I don't know what it looks like. But he thinks definitely launching robots. You know what? Maybe he was kidding. Maybe he's having me on. Now we'll go to Luigi's to look at some forms being put up. This is the area that the way in to Avengers Campus, and Dustin said that's pretty stout. They're going to build something pretty significant here, separating Cars Land from Avengers Campus. That's a lot of heavy-duty rebar and forms going up. So this is not going to be anything minimal. This will be a significant arch of some kind, we're guessing. Well, I'm guessing anyway. By the way, they were pointing. The reason why I'm staring at that tree right now is that's the tree where you turn left into Bugs Land. So that entrance that we're looking at, that piece of wall that they're building, is set back a little bit, more like where Tuck and Roll was. Here's one more look. So it's not the same place where the Bugs Land and Cars Land entrance was. I was asking about that right there because that's just a sound wall from within Bugs Land that's stayed, I think. I don't think that's new. That's from before. First time we've looked at that building from the ground at Luigi, so I thought I'd give you a little sense of how that is going to look from the ground by Luigi's. And this is it. This is the last thing. That's our current state of the carousel. There's no news from Snow White. Nothing to see. And that's our news from the carousel. What they're doing here. It looks like they're adding, or maybe putting on a new canopy, perhaps, which is interesting. And that's all we have for this week from the parks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Don't forget, by the way, if you like these videos, don't forget to check out our Monday Disneyland news video that we're doing. Now we're doing construction reports on Tuesdays and Disneyland news on Mondays. Be sure to watch those because they're fun. And we'll see you next week. Fresh baked! We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time. Fresh baked!